Welcome back to the show, friends. Our guest today, we're very excited to have him. He is a writer, a comedian, an art gallery co-founder, a podcaster.
And he has a new book called Kanye West Owes Me $300, which is not just a snappy title. Well, welcome, Jensen Karp.
Hey, guys.
Thanks for being here,
Oh,
man.
thank you for having me. It can't be a snappy title. It has to legally be true. That's why it's the title.
Oh, okay.
Like, lawyers told me that over and over. As long as he technically owes me $300, we're fine.
So he technically owes you $300.
He does. He owes
so
me,
let's
yeah.
start with that.
Let's just get that right out of the way.
Well, when I was 19 years old, I was pretty much like Los Angeles' biggest battle rapper, which is weird because I look like an accountant, but I was killer. Like, I could murder anybody. And that turned into a $1 million record deal at Interscope with Jimmy Iovine, and they it was like the Yankees of the music business.
Yeah, sure.
And so I recorded an album with them, and it was I recorded with Redman and Fabulous and DJ Quick and DJ Clue and Maya, and Sugar Ray, which is less impressive. But one of the people I worked with was a young Kanye West. We became close friends. He's not sort of the guy you know now. He was a very kind of quiet, somewhat humble guy, a little strange.
Not Kanye West 2020.
No, not like
president.
not
okay.
ranting about jogging sweats. No,
Gotcha,
like
okay.
he's a sort of a monster now. But at the time, very sweet.
Cool.
And we became friends, hung out, movies, dinners, all sorts. I couldn't do that. You know me as a person at this point. A couple minutes in, I could not hang out with this version of him that you know.
Sure.
And so one of the things I did was we wanted to record. We recorded a song together, and as a producer, not a rapper. No one really knew he was a rapper, and. He had to leave. He had to go to his mom's house. The train's about to leave.
Wait. So you made a record with Kanye West
where
you were the rapper,
well,
not him.
no one knew him as a rapper.
I just think that's such a cool story.
Yeah,
Like,
his
That's so fun.
Yeah, his managers would never even admit he was a rapper. Like when he told me
amazing.
he was a rapper, it was like a secret. He was like, "I'm a rapper." I was like, "Oh, really? That's crazy." Like he was being pitched as a producer. You couldn't really be both at the time.
Yeah.
So it was just, and he's also like a big dork. He had like adult braces and stuff.
Wow.
And so like people weren't stoked on him being a rapper.
Sure.
But
So
I
you didn't have the right look at the time.
Oh yeah,
That was
or like
so
his
opposite of
fervor was so like it was too exciting. It was like very hard to understand, even for
Right.
me and everyone else. And so we recorded. He said he needed to leave. I said, "Listen, I'll get a car service for you." This label gave me way too much money, and he's like, "No, I'll pay you back. I don't want it." And he would text me two ways at the time. He would two-way me every week about this $300. I didn't even want it, but after a while, when someone does that, you're like, "Yeah, you owe me
dude.
$300. Yeah, like
Yeah.
send me the check."
Right.
And so we kind of lost touch around a couple months after Through the Wire, after he got in the accident, and we haven't spoken since. But it is my biggest outstanding debt that I have in my life. is $300
that's my
to Kanye.
favorite thing.
Yeah, it's the largest debt.
And I feel like now he could probably afford it.
I would assume. I guess we're all a little questioning when he said he was $53 million in debt, but I figured it was time for me.
$53,300,000.
Right,
yeah,
in
there
debt.
you
He
go.
forgot
Or
to
maybe he
add
added it. Maybe he
Maybe
understood.
that's part of it. Oh.
Maybe.
52 and
Yeah,
change.
he's like, it was 52.7, but then I remembered that car that Jensen got me, and I'm going to throw that in.
Yeah.
Maybe, who knows? But no, I have not had much conversation with him, so who knows?
And since that time, you have kind of done a little bit of everything. So you have a podcast that's on Earwolf.
Yeah, it's on the Earwolf Network, yeah.
And you've got do you still do the show with the baby?
We did a show with the baby for a long time. We had a show called Baby Talk in Los Angeles, Dan Levy and I, and we would interview a 6 to 8 year old every month at the Meltdown Theater with 3 of our comedian friends. So if you ever looked for Billy Eichner to yell F off to a 7-year-old, we had the perfect show for you. But we have those.
That's our core audience,
Yes,
actually. People
killing it.
looking for that on Google.
Well, they're all on YouTube. We have like Blake Griffin, John Mulaney. We had so many great comedians come through and do it. And there's like 9 episodes on YouTube.
Sweet.
It's called Baby Talk.
And then you also co-founded an art gallery.
Yeah, that was right after the rap career.
One of the
cool.
greatest art galleries
thank you
here in
so
Los
much.
Angeles.
Yeah.
I've visited many times.
Thank
Gallery
you.
88.
Gallery 1988, yeah. And so basically, when I left the music industry, it ended on sort of bad terms, which you'll read in this book. And I needed to find somewhere where I could sort of wholeheartedly curate, not worry about someone else telling me something to do. Sure. And a gallery's perfect for that. Like you can put whatever you want on the walls, and you can live and die on your decision.
You choose.
And luckily, we're 13 years later, we're still in business.
Yeah, I mean, a
amazing.
gallery isn't exactly a
No.
sure thing.
Or on Melrose.
Yeah, on
No,
Melrose, it's
that's
like
very regional. But
lot of turnover.
Yeah, it's a turnover rate of about 3 months.
Yeah.
So we had 13 years. We're pretty much one of the longest running businesses on the block now.
That's pretty
so awesome.
Yeah,
And
it's
you do a lot of like pop culture stuff too, which is really cool.
Yeah, and directly with the companies a lot of times. Like we've worked with Breaking Bad and Lost and the Oscars and the Avengers, and we just did The Force Awakens with JJ. So
I have a number of things that I purchased there on the walls in my home.
I love it.
Yeah, a bunch of Ghostbuster stuff I did.
Yeah,
with
we
it.
worked with them
that's
directly.
Ghostbusters
Yeah.
event was amazing.
Yeah.
But so all of this stuff, all of your very eclectic life, all these
Yes.
different endeavors that you've been part of are in this book. This
No, this is just the rap career.
just the rap.
Yeah, this
career.
is basically my childhood in Woodland Hills, California, which is not quite a city of much minority.
Sure.
It's mostly just whites, a lot of Whole Foods and Trader Joe's.
Right.
And I came up rapping. It was my passion since the first moment I heard it, and I became very good through training. And
What was the first rap you heard? What was the thing that jump-started it all?
this group called Third Base, not necessarily a big famous group, but they were two white dudes really as the rappers, and they spoke to me. They didn't try to appropriate the culture. I knew even at that age, this wasn't my music. I knew to love it and to understand it, but not to sort of steal it. I'd learned that through Motown and things that I had studied. And so these guys, Third Base, made it their own. And that was the first time I heard it, went, you know what, I can do this. And that was what I was into, yeah.
That's cool.
And then it ends the last day I decided to rap.
Wow, that's cool.
Yeah.
And you started your career just extemporaneously or sitting down and writing?
For the book or for rapping?
For rapping.
Writing really first. I mean,
Yeah.
but I'm in like 6th grade, so like,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
it's still kind of good. I mean, I look back at the 6th grade stuff, and I'm like, oh, this is pretty funny, and it's in the book. I put some of the lyrics from 6th grade, and they're decent. And then
You're like,
freestyling.
Miss Finkelstein
Oh,
isn't
no.
what. Yeah.
No, I was rough. No. You can read in the book. I was definitely claiming to have sex with women. Oh no, I
awesome.
was 6th grade.
You understood
killing.
what rap was about.
Yeah.
Please. I'd studied long enough
At
to
the
know.
time, that was, that
At the
was
time,
it.
no.
That was it.
At the time, it's hip. That's all hip hop is still. Please.
It's true. That's good. You make a good point. You
And
make a good
so, I knew what to do. And so, and then I liked battling. Battling was what I wanted to do, especially because comedy was so ingrained in me. And so that's freestyling at that time. So that's how I got into freestyle battling, is that I wanted to use comedy and music, and that was the easiest way.
Do you still rap?
Not much. In the last 10 years, the Clippers asked me, I'm a huge Los Angeles Clippers fan, they asked me to do a song 2 years ago for halftime, and that was the first time I'd rapped on a microphone in a decade.
Wow.
So they put that at halftime, and then since for the book, I've put out a couple things. I did a song with Mike Shinoda from Linkin Park, which we just released for the book, and then I have a song with Nova Rockefeller from Canada. So there's some things I'm doing. I put out a freestyle for the book. So some things I'm doing to promote, and I still have it.
That's good. That's good to know.
Still killing
Excellent.
it.
Still crushing it.
Still murdering.
So in the book, there are a lot of these sort of interesting, like, factual encounters with people. Like, one of my favorite things that you mention you have a trailer for your book.
I do.
Listen, if you're not sure about buying it, like, to go watch the trailer on
The trailer will sell it.
on Jensen's website. It's great.
Yeah.
It's right here. And you talk about how Mark McGrath threw you a 25th birthday party.
21st.
Or 21st birthday
Yes.
party, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Threw you a party, and then you never spoke again.
We've spoken. I've never seen him again.
Oh, okay, fair enough.
He actually tweeted the other day. I did not send him a free book. He tweeted himself reading the book and congratulating me.
Amazing.
nice.
Yeah,
of him.
I don't know if he knows he's in it.
Mark McGrath still cares. So he hasn't gotten to that page
I
yet.
don't think
yeah.
so. I just tweeted at him. I was like, "Thank you so much. Hope you like your chapter," with like a heart.
Oh,
Because he was very nice to me. We had a song together, and he was a friend. And then after he got I mean, I guess I could spoil this. He got a humongous Virgin Mary tattoo that night because he was so drunk.
Oh, no.
And he got a Virgin Mary tattoo on his neck, and then he had it removed shortly thereafter.
Wow.
So no matter how
no.
crazy I think my 21st birthday is, I did not beat Mark McGrath.
No,
Like,
no.
he's not even religious.
Oh, my God.
That's awesome.
So,
You just
yeah.
pointed at it.
Yeah,
and
I'll
went,
take
"Ah,
this."
right
I need
here.
that right
Yeah.
there.
They're like the bull or the Virgin Mary. The Virgin Mary's fine.
The lady.
Yeah.
It very
Put
much
her on.
sounds like this was not to use a book metaphor, but a chapter in your life that had a beginning, middle, and end, and you are
Absolutely.
past it now.
Absolutely, and that's a lot of therapy. That's 10 years of therapy. Because when you're 19 and you sign a record deal for $1 million, and they tell you you're going to be on TRL, and they tell you you're going to work with Timbaland, and they tell you all these things, and then that doesn't come together. As much as that sounds like the smallest violin in the world, it is not. It is very painful for a child.
It's hard.
Yeah, very hard. And at 36, I'm a grown man. I'll take any of your disappointment. My parents are divorced. I'm fine. When you're 21 and you know this is your job, and also I went to college, I graduated. I could have went another route. I was a sitcom writer by trade. Like, I could have done those things. Instead, I lost 2 or 3 years because of rapping.
Sure.
And it's my passion, but I was promised a bunch of things, and those did not come through. Now I feel good, but at the time it was very painful.
Yeah,
Sure,
I'm sure
yeah.
that's really hard. So what do you think now about sort of the landscape of, I mean, obviously, we talked about this with Jackie too. People who are independent, able to get their music out there regardless of, labels and things like that. Like, do you think that if you were you were rapping now at that age, do you feel like you would have gone through maybe like a YouTube or a SoundCloud? Do you feel like you would have done an indie, or would you have gone for that record deal still?
I look at me. I was made to rap on the internet.
That's very true.
Let's be
That's why
honest
I'm
here.
asking.
Especially because at the time, you have to understand, no one looked like me. In 2006, or sounded like. I've dressed like this, I've sounded like this my whole life. In 2016, it's hard to find a white rapper who doesn't look like he belongs at Pacific Sunwear.
Right.
Like, I was the first of that mold. And I listened to it back then and went, this feels like, even I heard it and went, I'm trying because I can't be anything else. I can't talk about guns. I can't talk about jewelry. I did not live that.
you.
I have to be me. And it was startling. Now I listen to it in 2016, and I'm not even really that creeped out by it. It's just the way the world has evolved and the internet being a big part of it. Because if you're selling realistic rap from a kid who grew up in a middle-class suburban home, the strongest way to put that out is the internet. And I didn't have that at all. Napster barely started when I got out.
It's true democratization of the medium.
Yeah, it helps. And it gets you other audiences. It creates subgenres within a larger genre, and I didn't have that opportunity. And I'm still happy with what I did, but my project was made for what would later become the internet.
Do you have a lot of time to listen to or like look around for up and coming musicians that you're really into? Like, is there anybody online that people should be listening to right now?
Yeah, I mean, that's what our podcast is called, Get Up On This, and it's me getting people up on musicians, apps, movies, TV shows, anything. And I love a group out of LA called Villain Park. No one truly knows who they are yet. They're kids. They have some connections. One of their brothers was a 90s underground rapper like I was. But they're incredible. And they're kids. And I don't even know how many, probably 1,000 followers, 2,000 followers. But they sound like a throwback group. 90s Far Side sounding, but they're kids, yeah.
Wow.
Villain Park.
Villain Park. I'm publicizing them. They've never emailed me. I've never spoken to them.
Well, you're the Mark McGrath of Villain Park's life right now. That's what's happening.
Let's make it a little nicer for me, please. I appreciate the metaphor, but let's push it a little harder.
I like it. I like it. So what's next after the book? Like, do you want to write more books? Do you want to do? I mean, because you do a lot of things. Yeah. And so, what's next for you?
Well, I'm writing. Right now, I'm writing the ESPYs, the ESPN Oscars. It's my 3rd year in a row. This year we have John Cena, so I'm super excited about that as a host. Then
are you gonna go for the meme? Are you gonna go for the meme?
Wait, well, hold on. There are a lot of memes. Are you talking about John Cena?
Yeah.
Maybe.
Maybe.
You'll have to tune in to find out.
I'm so jealous because I feel like he would be my best friend, and we would get along. He seems like the coolest guy.
Best friend,
Well, I used to write a pro wrestling. I wrote Monday Night Raw. It was my first writer's room. Yeah.
That is amazing.
We need to have you on
just
where I could just talk to you about that.
Well, he was
I'm
the best.
Huge wrestling
Yeah,
fan.
I did 6 months in 2005, and it was a great experience. Not something I wanted to do ever again. I quit very easily.
Did you get those crazy Vince McMahon phone calls where he was like,
"No,
change it all"?
No, well, I didn't get those calls. Those existed, but they even called a new kid to do that. He was very nice to me and very sweet. And John was always a bright spot. He was the guy who walked up to my mother and introduced himself when she came. Wow. He's that guy. And
Charm parade, all through and through.
He's like a politician. And so I've been so stoked to be reunited with him and be making jokes with him. And he went and bought my book in a store yesterday, which is the most adorable thing I can think of. If John Cena walked in and bought a book in my bookstore, I'd be like, "What book is that?"
Exactly.
Sell it to everyone.
Everybody can have it.
Did anyone see John Cena buy this book? I'd yell it out loud. But it's been fun. And then I'm on the Alternative Press Music Awards with my friends Jack and Alex from All Time Low. They're hosting. And then to Rob Riggle's pilot over TBS. So I have a lot lined up as far as things to get me away from my life, a little less self-centered.
Sure.
And then hopefully something new.
More projects, more things.
Fantastic.
Yeah. Well, thank you so much for coming on the show. Where can everybody find you?
Yeah, it's jensenkarp.com with a K, so JensenKarp. Everything I do, which is a lot of stuff, is all hubbed there. And then on Twitter, it's JensenClan88. That's with a C, though, because I'm not racist. So that's JensenClan88.
That's so smart.
Yeah.
Well done.
Yep, that's it.
Sounds great. And I'm going to check out Villain Park.
They're great.
And definitely go pick up Kanye West Owes Me $300 because it's very funny.
Thank you.
And there are a lot of really great stories in there about a lot of your favorite 90s hip hop artists.
Want to know something on the way out?
Please.
Yes, please.
Maya loves quesadillas.
Maya loves, I mean, who doesn't love quesadillas?
She told me it many times. Then we talked about quesadillas for 15 minutes.
Now we know how to get her to come to this show.
Just set up a quesadilla plate.
Amazing.
Perfect.
Yep.
Somebody call the Taco Man.
Yep.
All right, guys, that is it for Jensen. Thank you so much
Thank you,
again.
guys.
We really appreciate it. And we'll be right back with our Intuits and also a delightful Back at Her Heck. And if you like taking pictures of space, so stick around. It's Tomorrow Daily.